wasn't planning on making a video tonight, but sometimes these things just sneak up on you. And this has been a ton of fun. Welcome to Marlboro Motor Raceway. If you haven't heard of it, I wouldn't blame you. It's a track that's been gone for some 55 years at this point. But it was, and kind of is actually, still located in Maryland, a couple hours east of Washington, D.C. It's one of these tracks from that boom period in road racing in America, when after the war, a lot of the troops coming home had either seen or heard of or just had a bug for something fast, and sports cars took off like crazy in America. And all these little circuits popped up all over the place. And this one's really interesting. It started as an oval, a dirt oval, and eventually was paved. And for the 1954 season, a 1.7 mile road circuit was built around and using part of that oval. A uniquely designed roval, if you will, cars entering on turn 2, but using 3 and 4 of the oval, and then exiting on turn 1 over a couple jumps, basically leading on and off the banking. But it was a 1.7 mile course, quite narrow, and something that struck me when first doing a couple laps here is just how compact the whole thing is. It winds upon itself quite a lot, which was its ultimate downfall, just due to the proximity of the different straightaways and corners and the track being really close together. It was seen as a pretty unsafe circuit, and therefore for the 1970 season, all the racing moved down the road to Summit Point, which is still operating in West Virginia to this day, not too far away. And the land that this track sat on is still sitting vacant. It's been a couple different businesses over the years. Google image photos from above, it looks like some sort of scrapyard. But they say the whole track is still actually there. There hasn't been anything built on top of it, and mostly just nature coming back and growing over and through the remaining roads. But this is something that came out quite a while ago for Assetto Corsa from our friend Sergio Loro at F3 Classic Tracks, and I've been looking for a while for the perfect cars to race around here. And in the spirit of that early SCCA road racing era, I think I've found my perfect match. This is the Chevrolet Corvette C1, the original Corvette, with some racing modifications. This is a car by Stereo, known for some exceedingly high-quality Assetto Corsa cars like the Porsche 912, the Yenko Stinger, and a very nice Formula Ford. This 1959 Corvette came out back in 2020, and in its original release was a road-going variant, but Vince Wheel, another user over at Overtake or Race Department, released a wonderful racing liveries skin set. Now this is the perfect car for this track, because in the mid and late 1950s, SCCA really was the thing racing at tracks like this, all these little tracks popping up. The SCCA was the big deal, and it really helped the Corvette become what it ultimately became, this American performance car. I always very much enjoy Stereo's cars when I drive them, but this one has just put a big smile on my face as I've been doing some laps here around a mishmashed field of sorts of different late 50s, very early 1960s cars that plausibly could have run in the SCCA. So let's do a little race. Chirp of the tires, and we're away for a little race here at Marlboro. Get squeezed right to the outside, jump off the oval and down into the S's. We got a tiny little Lotus 11 in front, a couple Corvettes slot in, and we'll wind our way into the super tight and slow hairpin for the first time. Try to make a little time around the outside, getting past one of the Corvettes. You got the Lotus on the left end as we'll accelerate down the back stretch. Got one of the Porsche 550 Spiders in front. So we'll come down to Creek Corner, right on the edge of the dirt, get it down a couple of gears. Porsche's going to outbrake us, of course. A little bit better handling in that car than them much heavier Corvettes. We'll knock fenders a little bit. But get it through Creek Corner and work down towards the boot. Every good course has a boot. Almost slid into me behind, but down to first gear for the toe of the boot and try to get a good exit here, as this will lead on to the back section of the course and wrap ourselves back around. So come up to Subway Corner, drop it down to second gear. Maybe you can slide it on the way in. These two run each other wide a bit. They'll try to make it 3 wide up the inside. There we go. Get past that spider, and now up to Cappy's Corner. It's probably my favorite on the course because you can slide it in, and it's a super late apex. Now jump ourselves back onto the oval. There we go. And do turns 3 and 4 of the oval. It's a very round oval. Not a lot of straightaway, especially on the backside of it. So come around though to complete the first lap. I got 3 Corvettes in front of me here. I think that Lotus behind, and we'll keep an eye on the mirror. The way I've got this set up is we got some Maseratis starting towards the back of the pack. That'll be just a little bit quicker than we are, and if they get up here before the end of this, they will likely be able to pass me quite easily. I'll have to put up a good fight there. I absolutely love this car. I was so excited when I saw a racing variant of it, because as much as I like road cars, I love race cars. And so having an actual proper racing version of this will slide through Creek Corner. I had to put a lot of slip in it. There's another Corvette right on my left side there. So over rev just a little bit. Side by side on the entry to the booth there. Corvette thinks better of it, slides in behind. We'll try to go the long way around. These two in front. The tires are crying for help. So try not to knock into the tires on the inside of the course. There we go. But it's the old bias plies, and I love the sound of them. It's very of the time period, screeching tires. So we'll slide around. And the deep guttural sound of the V8. So make another pass on a Corvette there. Down to second gear. Oh, he's gonna come back up on me. Oh, getting crossed up at the wheel. We'll jump back onto the oval. We'll have to do it NASCAR style up the inside. It's like a Saturday night short track, but road racing with classic Corvettes. Right up to third gear, and I can see the first of our Maseratis coming up behind. It's the yellow car. Just getting a glimpse of it in the mirror as he tries to make his way around the other Corvettes. So get a bit of a slipstream off this nice pink Corvette in front. Go right to the low line. He pinches me down low on all the dust and dirt. Get it down a couple gears, brake nice and early. We gotta take it nice and narrow. Get on the accelerator to help rotate the car, just plow understeers, but able to make the pass there for the lead. All right. So we'll work it down into the boot. Just get a nice run through here. I can see the Maserati's already up to third, and he's not going to be taking too long with that Corvette behind me, I think. We got plenty of laps to go. We're going to have to try to hold him off. But this is what makes racing, sports car racing, classic sports car racing especially, so good, as the cars are all so different. And although maybe these exact cars didn't share the track, it would have been quite similar to this with some of the different car performances, and depending on the different tracks you'd go to, some cars might be better suited to it than others. Is that Maserati's a 1960 or 61, this Corvette's a 59. It's a very different type of car. So jump onto the oval there. I can see him in my mirror now. Try my best to hold him off, but he's going to have a lot of pace. Might have to get a little extra elbows out for this one. Almost want a handbrake for the hairpin. It feels a little bit like rallying with this car, but I love racing with the big wheel. I don't need many excuses to pull out the big wooden wheel rim, and it's perfect for a car like this. Lock up the rear diff a little bit to get it to slide into Creek Bend. Here comes the Maserati up my left side. Oh, he's gonna have a ton of power there, but he might shoot it a bit deep into the horseshoe or into the boot. There we go. I'll understeer on the out. and he's going to get the acceleration, but running on the dirt again. The AI in Assetto Corsa is nothing but exciting, I guess. I'm going to have to get back in front of him if I have any hope of keeping this. So we'll come down to Cappy's corner. Oh, he outbrakes himself there. All right, take up the inside. You know, even though the AI is making lots of errors and is a bit erratic, it's a good impression of maybe some amateur drivers from these old days. Racing was a very new thing, and you would have had drivers of all different types of skills, but very famous drivers did race around Marlboro. Roger Penske got his start at this track, but Carroll Shelby, Ken Miles, Jackie Stewart, the list goes on and on of drivers that raced here all throughout the 1950s and 60s. Made good time through the hairpin that time. It's really these straights where he's got a little bit of extra power. Gotta maybe not slide the tires quite as much through Creek Corner. Still give it the nose in though. To get the car to rotate, you just plow understeer if you don't slide it a little bit. So the four-wheel drift is absolutely necessary. We'll stay to the inside this time. Oh, he's still gonna look there. Almost knocking into my rear fenders. Just concentrated on that little mirror. I don't have any of the other proximity indicators and things on. It's fun to guess a little bit. I'm racing offline. There's no real risk to ruining anybody else's day or things, and it's a bit more immersive. So he's going to take a look up the inside into Cappy's. No mistakes this time, outbraking himself. This Corvette C1 is quite a small car. It's very small compared to modern cars, but compared to other cars of the time, it's absolutely colossal. So we'll slide it into NASCAR 3 and 4. I'm gonna have to lunge back up the inside into the hairpin if I have any shot at this. So we'll get a nice run through the S's then. Oh, he's gonna give me the outside. Oh, knock fenders. We wouldn't want to do that in that bird cage. That's a nickname for the Maserati there. So he's going to have a nice run down the backstretch now. This might be it. So I've got another Maserati coming up behind to try to put me on the third step of the podium. Just trying to give it everything it has. But I might lose second place here now too. Especially if they're driving like this. Up the inside he goes. Oh, knocks into me. Getting the steering wheel all wrong. Headed into the toe of the boot. All right, those two are gonna get around. It was a valiant effort. So we can see another one back there, but I got just one more lap to go. As long as I don't do anything too major, he should stay there. I'll try to get back second spot. A little bump there on a patch of the asphalt. But you can see as the cars race past that it was not the safest track, and especially as speeds would have picked up, especially in the 70s, but certainly in the 60s when this track was still active, it would have just become more and more dangerous. And with something like Summit Point not too far away, I suppose it made sense to centralize everything there. But what a cool little track this was. This will understeer a bunch on the oval. Get it across the line. One more lap to go. I'm in third, and I might remain there, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it. A couple lapped cars ahead. It could make things interesting. A few of the Alphas are quite slow there. But if you want to try a very different driving experience, this car has been quite eye-opening. It's so heavy and it's so soft, but it's so much fun. Bunch of dirt being kicked up in front. Oh, as these two run wide, the Alfa there getting into a scuffle with the Maserati. We'll sneak up the inside back into second, I think. It's starting to rain a little bit of a sun shower or something. I guess you could expect that in the summer. We'll try to run away from second place though. Get it down into Cappies. As long as I can ace this, we should have second spot wrapped up. Four-wheel drifting all the way to the apex. That's why that corner is so cool. Jump onto the oval, a little bit on the inside. Big jump there. Get it down into second to take the oval. Run the inside line just to make sure that Maserati can't sneak it up there. So not winning, but coming home in second. Oh, what a fun little race. Cool track. Such a cool track. An even cooler car, I think. Recommend this one. I'll post a link to this car and the skin pack that makes it into this racing variant for everybody to enjoy. But yeah, Marlboro Motor Raceway. A cool little track and a nice slice of motorsports history. I love this era of late 50s, the very early SCCA stuff. And happy we can recreate it at least a little bit here for some fun in Assetto Corsa. But I hope you enjoyed this. Just a quick look at a couple of cool things. But until next time, this is GP Laps. I'll see y'all later.